We're Kyall and Jemma, aka Paperbacks and Passports, and there's 3 things you should know about us. We love travelling, eating, and reading. We're currently taking some time out of our normal 9-to-5 lives to do just this. In May 2023, we packed our bags and left for Asia for 6 months. Join us as we travel, eat, and read our way across the world. We'd love for you to come along for the adventure. Good morning, Kyall.
Good morning, Jemma.
So, what are you eating?
So this is traditional kaya toast from Singapore, which is toast with a thick layer of butter and coconut jam inside.
Is it coconut jam or is it apricot jam?
I think it's coconut jam. And then it's served with a soft-boiled egg, or 2 soft-boiled eggs, and coffee with condensed milk and butter.
Taste test.
Really, really sweet.
Yeah.
The bread is super sweet, the butter's super sweet, the jam is super sweet.
Maybe dip it in the egg and see if that mellows it out a bit. Is that better?
That combo, kind of savoury to the creaminess of the egg, along with the sweetness and the butteriness of the toast. Absolutely fantastic combination. Time for the Jemma tax of the toast. With the egg.
I should try it without the egg.
What do you think?
That's real good.
I think it's real good, right?
Yeah, the egg really complements it. There's it's really, really sweet. Yeah.
Well,
It's got a big bit of butter. I love butter. Yeah, that egg really tones down the sweetness, but you still get a kick of the sweet. I really, really like that. It's really different.
So kaya toast, new breakfast staple.
I can't eat bread every single morning, I'll be so bloated.
Gluten-free kaya toast for Jemma.
So you just saw Kyall eating some kaya toast, and now we've made our way over to India. So we're not going to do too much here. I think we want to get some lunch and just chill, just have a look around. It's a chill vibe kind of day today. I haven't slept very well, so we're going to take things slow, go chill. So yeah, let's see what we end up doing.
We've done it. We've managed to successfully navigate through Little India, and we definitely didn't take 2 or 3 wrong turnings and start off by going in completely the wrong direction. Clearly, Mahatma Gandhi had a lot more works than I thought. 73 volumes.
And it's heavenly, it's spicy, it's sweet, it's like so tender and juicy, it's like just falling on the bone. It's well good.
Alright, plate 2, Samosa chat. Smells absolutely amazing. Really, really good. It's a vegetarian samosa coupled with a sort of a large chickpea curry and then coriander with chutney on top. And the combination together, absolutely incredible. It's really savoury, it's really salty. It's got all those amazing Indian spices in there. Absolutely fantastic. So far, 2 out of 2, really good.
I'm so excited. The rest of the food comes in and
Absolutely amazing.
like, I'm gonna skip bread. Bread is like glistening with butter.
I'm going to go in for the curry first.
Oh my gosh, that restaurant was so tasty.
Absolutely incredible.
It was, we were saying like, the samosa chaat we had, the samosa, it was drowning in curry sauce and it was still able to like be crispy. So like the pastry was real crisp and so tasty. And then the naan itself was like, back at home, the naan bread's always really thick and really, really, really filling. But this was almost like a pastry. It was like so flaky and really thin and drowning in butter. But it didn't feel like too oily or too rich, too much. And then the butter chicken, my gosh. It was just all around such a good meal. I think it might be both of our favourite meals potentially. Really hard to say though because like all the food is so good here, but it was pretty up there.
After making our way back across Singapore from Little India, we arrived at Marina Bay Sands just in time to catch the famous light show, Spectra. This show happens every night, 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and no tickets are needed. Just make sure you show up a little bit before everyone else to try and get a good spot, maybe 20-15 minutes or so. We recommend if you can get right in the middle, because if you're off to a side like we were on the first time, you won't actually see the projections on the water, and believe me, the projections are the main attraction here. I'm not going to spoil all of it, you're going to have to go see it yourself, but here is a couple clips from Marina Bay Sands, Spectra. What do you think of the light show?
Well, I know I keep comparing things to Disney. It kind of reminds me of what like Ep.2 wants to be. And like the light show reminded me of the Ep.2 fireworks.
Yeah, it was kind of weird that there was no fanfare or like notification or message when it started. It's just a thing that happens.
Yeah, but you know what? I think it was really good, and I think it was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I wasn't expecting it was a full 15 minutes.
Yeah. And it was cute. I'm glad we saw it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I think if you are in Singapore, for whatever reason, you should definitely come see it.
Yeah.
Because it's free.
And you know what? It made me super grateful to be here on this trip. Yeah. You know when it's like nighttime and it's like
Yeah.
Feeling sentimental.
As you can tell, we absolutely loved seeing Spectra, and then the next day we headed over to the Art Science Museum.
Something Kyall was really interested in seeing. It's supposed to be really artsy and like very Instagram worthy. So let's go check it out. We're gonna draw a fish. Okay, so is this, Kyall, a must go or a oh no?
I think it's a must go.
Yeah.
You do have to buy a ticket, and there are a few other exhibitions you can bundle your ticket with. We only did one of them out of the three. One of them is a sneaker exhibition, so probably more my thing than Gemma's thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is a must go. How about you, Gemma?
I think it's a must go. It's cute. It's a little expensive, but it's cute. I think it's just something different to do. So yeah, must go.
Later in the day, we headed over to the Gardens by the Bay to watch their incredible light show. If you want to see more footage from the Gardens by the Bay, please feel free to check out our video on Crazy Rich Asians, link in the description below.
So we've come out again to the Gardens by the Bay to try and catch the light show by the Super Trees.
We're sat on the floor and we have about 10 minutes before the show starts.
Which is good because it's incredibly humid and I feel like there are bugs all over me.
Yeah, I feel like
I am being bitten.
But it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
And you're beautiful.
Gardens by the Bay are stunning during the day, but it's at night that they offer the most impressive light show in the whole city. We love this one so much that we just couldn't bring ourselves to spend the whole show watching through the camera lens. So here is just a short clip of Rhapsody in the Gardens.
Gardens by the Bay was the best way to end our time in Singapore. I think of everything that we did, the light show there was my absolute favourite part.
You did really love it. I think Gardens by the Bay might be one of my favourites as well. I think Singapore was absolutely stunning and an amazing way to kickstart our 6 months in Asia. It was beautiful, it was crazy in the best way, and it was just the best time. So with that,
I think we should introduce a new segment where we talk about our 3 best
Top 3 things that we did.
and maybe one thing that we would suggest missing out, or things we could do better. Just an even better if.
Yes.
Going back to school days. What went well, even better if.
My school didn't have that.
What?
Well, I think we just had the classic 3 good things, 1 bad thing. But
Oh, well, okay. So what were your...
Okay, well, I'm going to go first and say
Okay.
Gardens by the Bay. Specifically the light show. Go see it. Wear bug spray.
Oh god, wear bug spray. Oh, the
Definitely
first
wear
time
bug
we
spray.
saw it, we ended up with so many bites. I could feel the bugs crawling on me. Wear your bug spray to the light show.
Yeah, we didn't mention that in the previous clip. But yeah, wear bug spray. Top tip. So Gemma, what about you? Number 1 thing.
Okay, my number 1 thing... Oh gosh, it's so hard. Okay, my number 1 thing I think might be the satay at La Passat. I really like that whole experience, the vibe of like having the street shut down and all the different the vendors outside. And we waited an hour for our satay, and honestly, it was worth the wait. It was so tasty. I think it's my favourite thing I ate there, which is really hard to say. There were so many delicious things. And I don't think my face really showed it how much I loved it in the video, but I loved it. And I think if we ever go back to Singapore, I'm doing what Nick and Rachel did when they landed in Singapore from Crazy Rich Asians, and I'm going to La Passat and I'm getting some satay. So yeah, that's my number 1. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the Art Science Museum.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
I just think I love anything that's like a combination of technology and arts being put together. I mean, drawing fish and then scanning them in
That
and
was
having them
cool.
come up on screen was just really cool. But also being there, because the place is so dark, all the lights are the exhibitions. There isn't anything else apart from that. And there's a few other bits we didn't show. There's a plane section that's really cool. There's a glow in the dark kind of climbing frame thing.
That was such that was an exercise.
It was very cool, and there's a couple of other exhibitions there as well, which I mean we mentioned we didn't get to do unfortunately. But yeah, Art Science Museum, fantastic. The only thing I think we've ever done like it was Camera Obscura in Edinburgh, of all places.
Yeah, I would say it's quite different though. I guess that is probably the closest thing to describe it, but
Yeah.
I think it's
a bit more interactive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely. So you, Gemma, number 2?
Oh, this is really hard. Gosh.
It's difficult, yeah.
My number 2, I think, would be... Am I just going to go for all food? No, I'm not. Mine would actually be... I'm going to go for the Jewel.
Sure.
The Jewel. I was going to say the Marina Bay shops, but I think the Jewel just tops it. Just because it's so extravagant, and it's like... I was initially going to go for the shops because I walked in and was like, this is insane. But I think the Jewel tops that because it brought tears to my eyes, because I was like, I can't believe we're here and we're in Singapore, and it's just so huge. It's massive.
It's such a good way to start a trip to
Oh,
Singapore
yeah.
as well, because it's right there. You walk past it.
Don't do it us. I don't think we mentioned this in the video. So we landed and I saw a sign for the Jewel and I was like, oh Kyle, should we go and see it now? And Kyle's like, no, I'm a bit tired. And I was like, yeah, it's probably like a trek to get over there. Let's leave it. But if we had turned 180 degrees, we would have seen the rain vortex. So yeah, it's if you're in the airport, go and see it.
Go see it.
It's not hard to get to.
Definitely. And to add to Marina Bay Sands as well, there is a canal or like a Venetian style boat with a man that does a boat ferry that goes through the shopping centre.
Yes.
Like, that's,
So yeah, Marina Bay Sands shops could have been my number 2, but I think the Jewel just edges it out for me. What's number 3?
Oh, what is my number 3? I'm tempted to say it's actually the Sky Park at Marina Bay Sands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is maybe a bit of an odd one because I really don't like heights. But there's a couple of Sky Gardens in London that we've been up, and they're always enclosed buildings, or the ones that are open are not actually that high. They're like not actually that high. I mean, they're like 27 stories. There's something about the sheer height of Marina Bay Sands, being up there and it being open air, which is absolutely unbelievable. Like, you're so much more exposed, and I don't know the reason why the London ones aren't open.
Because it's London, it would get wet.
Yeah, I guess weather, I guess wind and stuff, but it's open at the top. You can feel like the wind that you get naturally just being that high up. You can go right up to the edge, and bearing in mind it's 3 buildings with like a curved bit, so you're not in the middle of the buildings, you're actually right on the edge. There isn't anything below you.
Yeah.
How about you, Gemma? Number 3.
My number 3. I'm not gonna pick a specific place. I'm gonna go rogue, and I'm gonna pick that. I was editing the Crazy Rich Asians blog, and there's this like period where we go to Chimes, Raffles Hotel, and then Esplanade. I still can't. That's really bad.
Esplanade Park.
And I just remember that being so much fun. I think we were a bit delirious at that point because we had walked around in the heat the whole day. But I remember that day we had a bit of a dip where we were filming and had a bit of like what we're filming is really bad. Like, why are we doing this? Like, I don't know if we should be doing this. And then we just completely 180'd and picked ourselves up and just had a really, really good couple of hours exploring Chimes, going to the Raffles Hotel, and then sitting in Esplanade Park before we went over to Gardens by the Bay. And I think that really comes across in the video, just like how much of we're a little bit sillier. And yeah, I just think that period was, it stands out to me.
Good times.
Yeah.
Good times. Yeah. And we're really plugging that Crazy Rich Asians video, which we will link to.
Yes.
Many times they're out here. But
and also I have just spent today editing it, so it's kind of fresh in my mind.
Fresh in the mind. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so
what could be better?
What could be better?
So I think I might be saying something controversial here based on what I've read online, but I think the way that we did it is what could have made it better. So I'm going to say Little India. I think Little India is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of many other cities that have like an India town. Like Chinatown's really common, but Little India is India town. Yeah, Little India. Choose the name. But when we got in, we didn't really have a plan. We didn't work out what we were going to do, and I think when we got there, it was really overwhelming.
Yes.
It is really busy, and it is really different. And
yeah, really different. It feels like you're in a different country.
Yeah, it's crazy. You go from like big open streets, fancy shops, to much narrower streets, markets, people like trying to sell stuff, lots of like kind of windy, narrow pathways. And there's a trail, and there's a lot of these like signs, like a heritage trail. And the Gandhi Museum was one of the stops on there. We basically looked at the sign and went, right, what do we actually want to do? We went, okay, Gandhi Museum, let's go check it out. I think if we had had a plan, done our research, and actually worked out where we wanted to go and how to get around them, we would have had a better time.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's my could be better. And to be honest, the could be better is on us. I think Little India is probably amazing, and if we get another chance, I'd love to go back and do it justice.
I think Little India is amazing. Like, it feels like a completely different country, but in a really good way. It feels like you're like in India, or like a small Little India, a small version of India. It feels so different, but so vibrant, and there's so much going on, and oh my god, the food.
Yeah, the food was amazing.
The food.
Cannot stress enough how that is the best Indian food I've ever had.
Yeah.
And we have not been to India yet.
Yeah.
So the bar, I'm excited to see where the bar goes.
It was so good.
But yeah, Gemma, tell us, what's your could be better?
I'm actually going for where we stayed. I think.
And I took personal offence at that.
Okay, so the pod was cool. Oh, if you don't know, I don't think it's been any of our YouTube videos. So we stayed at a capsule hotel for the whole week. It was our cheapest option, and Kyall really, really wanted to stay in a capsule hotel and have that experience.
It's a bucket list item. It was a bucket list item, don't know.
And I think the pod is cool. The pod itself is a really cool thing, and it's self-contained. It feels like you're kind of in a hostel environment, but you have your own space, and I think that's really valuable. And I think the cost is great, but I felt that the one we stayed at, I never felt like I was at ease. I felt that every day when we went back home, I was like, I don't want to stay here.
And if you do want to know more about that hotel, and if you do want to know more about that coffee,
everything.
then make sure you check out our Instagram. We'll link all the socials in the description below. But Instagram, we do a lot more daily content, so if you want to follow our journey on there, and if you want to see extra stuff that aren't included in these videos, then you got to follow everywhere to see it, obviously.
Okay, and to sum up, Singapore, a must go or a oh no?
I regret coming up with that scale.
It's really hard because everything's
it's so extreme.
Yeah.
Singapore obviously is a must go according to that scale, but I've got a feeling that a place is going to have to be pretty bad for it to be an oh no. So it's a must go.
It's a must go. It's a must go. I loved Singapore. I want to go back. I want to eat more food. I loved everything. I loved it.
Absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So where are we off to next, Gemma? What's next on the agenda?
Oh, wow, Kyle. We're going to Bali! Yay!
Which may or may not be where we are at the moment for this video. In case there's a slight change of scenery. We
might actually be at the end of our Bali trip, but shh. We hope you enjoyed this video. We are really enjoying making the videos, editing them. It's been scratching that creative itch on our brains. So please consider following us, subscribing to us, liking this video, and commenting down below what your favourite thing was that you've seen us go to in Singapore. Right, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.